Part 1. She said she was dying, but the truth was worse. I never thought I'd be the type of person who ended up writing something like this. But here I am, staring at a blinking cursor, not knowing whether to laugh, scream, or just shut the laptop and walk away from it all. Because how do you even begin to process the fact that your wife, the woman you've loved for years, the woman you held through sleepless nights and swore to protect in sickness and in health, has been lying about having a terminal illness just to cover up her affair? And the worst part? I believed her. Every single word. It started about 8 months ago. My wife, Claire, came home pale and shaking after a doctor's appointment. She clutched a crumpled envelope of test results in her hand, tears streaking her face. It's bad," she whispered. "They said it's advanced. I didn't want to tell you until I was sure." My stomach dropped. I felt like someone had just punched the air out of me. I grabbed the papers, scanning the medical jargon that my panicked brain couldn't make sense of, but I saw words like malignant, late stage, metastasis. I dropped the papers, hugged her, promised her we'd fight it together. She shook her head. "There's no fighting this." That night, I held her while she cried into my chest, and I swore I'd spend whatever time we had left making her life as beautiful as possible. The next months were brutal. I picked up extra shifts to cover treatments. I cooked her special meals. I drove her to the hospital when she said she had appointments, sometimes waiting hours in the car because she insisted she didn't want me inside, claiming it was too hard for her to be seen as a patient. She grew distant, tired, withdrawn. She said it was the medication, the stress, the disease eating away at her. And I believed her, because that's what you do when the person you love tells you they're dying. But then little cracks started to show. One day, she left her laptop open while she was showering. I don't snoop. I never had a reason to. But something about the way she'd been acting made me pause. Out of habit, I moved the mouse to keep the screen awake. Her browser was still open. The last visited page? A YouTube tutorial titled "How to Fake Realistic Medical Documents in Photoshop." My heart froze. I told myself it had to be a mistake. Maybe she was just curious. Maybe she was making something for a friend. Anything. But then I found a folder on her desktop, buried 3 layers deep, named Work. Inside were PDFs of medical bills, discharge papers, blood test results, all with suspicious formatting, weird typos, mismatched fonts. It hit me like a freight train. She wasn't dying. She was lying. I didn't confront her immediately. I wanted to be absolutely sure. So I started small, double-checking the hospital names, the doctor's signatures. Some of them didn't even exist. And then, the final nail. One of the billing statements listed her diagnosis code. I looked it up online. It wasn't cancer. It was pregnancy. My wife wasn't dying. She was carrying someone else's child. I think I actually blacked out for a moment. The room spun. I remember gripping the edge of the desk so hard that my knuckles went white, just trying to steady myself against the tidal wave of betrayal. Every tear I'd wiped from her face. Every late night I'd spent praying for a miracle. Every dollar I'd burned thinking I was helping her live just a little longer. It all felt like a joke. She hadn't just cheated on me. She had stolen my compassion, my grief, my love. She turned me into a widower in training, mourning someone who was never even sick. And the worst part? She still doesn't know I know. Because I can't decide how to end this story. Do I confront her? Do I expose her to her family, her friends, everyone who's been crying and sending get well soon cards? Do I pack my bags and disappear? Or do I sit here, stewing in this unbearable silence? knowing that the woman I gave everything to faked her death sentence while carrying another man's child.